This guide explains how to use the AeroPrice Dynamic Execution screen in the trainee environment. Its purpose is to help you understand what each on-screen prompt means, what each feature is for, and how to respond within the firm's required workflow. Your role is to follow authorized system instructions accurately, document your actions, and maintain compliance with the platform's rules and controls. We will begin with the left-hand column. At the top is the trader training system. This is the main navigation menu for the trainee environment. It provides access to training, execution, review, support, and other areas of the platform. Execution prompt is the currently selected page. This is where you wait for a valid system-directed instruction. Do not act until an authorized prompt is present and complete. Market context provides the market background associated with the current prompt. Use this area to identify the market or instrument involved and to understand the context the system has supplied. System status displays the platform's current operating condition. It may show whether the required conditions are complete, incomplete, restricted, or unavailable. Always consider the displayed system status before attempting to act. Trade management provides instructions for managing an open position after entry. Its core principle is simple. Follow the live system exit prompts. Do not react emotionally to routine price movement or attempt to substitute personal judgment for the system's instructions. Compliance Monitor provides access to risk and compliance information. This includes risk parameters, restricted trading periods, lockout conditions, and related controls that may affect whether action is permitted. Audit Log contains the recorded history of system events and trainee activity. This includes clicks, non-clicks, execution-related actions, timestamps, and recorded outcomes. The audit record supports supervision, training review, and compliance oversight. Performance review is where execution quality may be reviewed. It may be used to assess how closely you followed the system, including prompt adherence, timing, chart documentation, and opportunities for procedural improvement. Training resources contains instructional materials that explain the platform, its terminology, the rules-based workflow, and the conduct expected of a trainee. Help and Policies provides operational guidance, platform policies, and support information. Use this section when you need clarification about a procedure, requirement, or platform role. Settings allows access to approved interface and account preferences. It does not allow you to change execution rules, risk limits, or compliance restrictions. Below the navigation menu is the Session Info panel. This panel identifies the current session and supports accountability. The user role confirms that you are operating as a trainee. The session ID identifies the specific training session for tracking and audit purposes. Login time shows when you signed in. Time and session shows how long the current session has been active.
Now move to the center column. The large green panel displays the primary execution status prompt. When you see system alignment complete, along with a green check mark, it means the system has recognized that all required conditions are aligned. This status does not invite you to apply personal analysis or independently decide whether the conditions are strong enough. The purpose of the panel is to show that the platform, rather than discretionary judgment, has determined whether the required conditions are present. The market field identifies the instrument covered by the active execution prompt. Where the screen displays an instrument placeholder, read the market name carefully before proceeding. The authorized direction field tells you the direction approved by the system. For example, the screen may display long. You are not being asked to decide whether to go long or short. The direction is supplied by the system and applies only when the complete authorized prompt is active. The action instruction states that execution is permitted only when the full system prompt appears. Do not enter a trade merely because a market looks attractive, an indicator appears favorable, or a previous setup resembles the current situation. The required prompt must be visible, complete, and authorized. The discretionary override field states that overrides are not permitted. This is a behavioral control. Do not override, reinterpret, delay, reverse, or replace a complete system instruction with your own opinion. The status line explains the conditions are complete and aligned with the prevailing market flow. This is the system's explanation for why an authorized direction is present. It is not a request for you to independently validate the signal or make a separate directional judgment. The green Execute Authorized Trade button is used to confirm and submit the authorized trade through the approved routing process. Before selecting this button, verify the displayed instrument, authorized direction, and system status. Confirm that the prompt is the one currently intended for action. Selecting the button is a recorded execution decision. It is not an invitation to act impulsively. The gray "No Action" or "Do Not Execute" button provides a controlled alternative when execution cannot properly proceed. Use it when there is a legitimate operational issue or a valid restriction that prevents proper execution. Do not use the "No Action" option simply because you disagree with the system's market assessment. If there is no operational or policy-based reason to withhold execution, follow the authorized workflow. Below the buttons, the screen explains that every click and non-click is time-stamped and logged. This means the platform records both execution decisions and instances in which an available prompt was not acted upon. These records support training review, supervision, and compliance oversight. The Trade Management Panel explains how to manage an open position. The central rule is that exits are governed by confirmed live system data, not by pre-selected profit targets, guessed stop levels, fear, hope, or personal prediction. The first instruction addresses ordinary pullbacks. Do not exit solely because price makes an ordinary pullback within the current structural pattern. A pullback alone does not necessarily mean the directional run has ended. Remain in the position while the system data continues to confirm that the active run is intact. The second instruction addresses profitable positions. Exit a profitable position immediately when the live metrics indicate that the current directional run has ended. This is not a fixed profit target instruction. The exit occurs when the system confirms that the movement supporting the position is no longer continuing. The third instruction addresses losing positions. Exit immediately when the anticipated price action has clearly failed to develop and the contrary move is confirmed as more than a brief or insignificant pullback. The important distinction is between normal temporary adverse movement and a confirmed failure of the expected market action. Once the system confirms failure, exit the position. Do not hope, negotiate, delay, or improvise. The next instruction prohibits debate, prediction, improvisation, and override. The intended workflow is that the system supplies the conditions and prompts, and you follow the authorized instruction and document the result. The amber warning reminds you that the system does not predict preset price targets or stop levels. Exit decisions are triggered by confirmed live system data. The platform does not attempt to forecast the precise exit price in advance. Instead, it directs the exit based on the real-time status of the directional run.
The closeout checklist is required after every execution decision and every no action decision. First, save before and after charts. Capture the chart state before the decision and again after the decision. This documentation supports later review. Next, record whether the execution followed the prompt. Exactly identify whether the instruction was followed or was not followed. Finally, submit the execution record to the internal audit log. Include the relevant chart material, the action taken, and any required notes. Now move to the right-hand column. At the top is local time. This display provides the current platform time. It gives trainees and supervisors a shared time reference for reviewing prompts, decisions, alerts, and audit events. The green shield indicator displays system healthy. When it states that all core services are operational, it means the platform is functioning normally at that time. This is an operational status indicator. It is not a trading signal. The risk and compliance overview provides a live summary of the controls that govern training activity. When each item is marked live, it means active monitoring is in effect. Risk limits active confirms that applicable risk parameters are being monitored and applied. This does not permit you to exceed those limits or alter them independently. No trade window status shows whether the account is currently outside restricted trading periods. A no trade window is a period during which execution is not permitted under platform or firm rules. If a restricted window becomes active, it takes priority over any desire to act. Auto lockout monitoring reports whether a lockout condition has been detected. A lockout is a protective control that may restrict trading activity when a relevant breach or prohibited condition occurs. You cannot bypass a lockout. Supervisor visibility indicates that live monitoring is enabled.
This means supervisors, risk personnel, or compliance personnel may monitor relevant system activity and trainee responses in real time. The broker route status may display test connection. This indicates that the platform is connected to a testing route rather than a live production broker execution environment. The testing route allows the firm to evaluate the workflow while maintaining an auditable record of the routed instruction. The lockout and violation status panel provides a concise view of whether a lockout or policy violation is active. When the panel shows no lockouts and no policy violations, no such condition is currently indicated. If either status changes, stop attempting to act and follow the applicable policy or supervisor direction. The audit log summary states that all actions and system events are recorded and immutable. Immutable means the event history is intended to remain intact and not be changed after the fact. The open audit log control provides access to the fuller activity record. The final panel contains several important reminders. This is a training environment. Follow the system and protect the process. Disciplined execution is a professional standard. Your role is not to outguess the system. Your role is to recognize valid prompts, act only as authorized, follow live management instructions, respect risk and compliance controls, and document every decision accurately.